In this video, I would like to provide you with some tips for what might be called best practices in working with your Hurst cycles indicators. The first thing that you should ensure is that the order of your Hurst cycles indicators is correct on your charts. I'll show you what I mean. If you right-click on a chart and select Indicator List, then here you can see the indicators that you have on your chart. You will probably have many other indicators as well. The important point here is that your Hurst cycles indicator, which is of course the analysis indicator, should be first on the list before the Hurst VTL or Hurst FLD. The reason for this is because when your charts load, the indicators are loaded in the order that you see here from the top down. And if MetaTrader 4 loads your Hurst cycles analysis indicator first, then when it loads your Hurst VTL and your Hurst FLD indicators, the analysis information will be available to those indicators so that they will instantly appear on your charts. Let me show you the result of having the correct order, which is with the Hurst cycles analysis indicator at the top of the list. When I change the time frame on this chart, you can see that the new chart appears with the FLD and VTL instantly displayed on that chart so that you can immediately, of course, start working with it. I'll change the time frame again, and there we can see the FLDs and the VTLs instantly displayed. Now, let me show you what happens if you have the incorrect order. And the way in which you change the orders is you simply choose one of the indicators and you delete it off your chart. And here you can see we still have the FLD and the VTL displayed, but no Hurst cycles indicator. If I now apply the Hurst cycles indicator to this chart, then you will see, of course, the analysis information is displayed there. And if we take a look at our indicators list, you will see that the Hurst cycles analysis indicator is being loaded after the VTL and the FLD. What that means is that when the VTL and FLD are loaded, the analysis information is not yet available because the analysis indicator isn't on your chart yet. It hasn't been loaded yet. Unless, of course, you have your Hurst cycles indicator available on another chart of the same instrument, in which case, of course, that analysis information will be available. I'm speaking here about a situation where you only have one chart with your Hurst cycles analysis indicator loaded onto it. So let me close that. And of course, you will see that I have a 1 minute chart in the euro to US dollar, which has my analysis indicator on it. And so even when I change the time frame on this indicator, the FLD and the VTL will load immediately, because the analysis information is being drawn from the other chart. But now, let me get rid of this other chart by simply closing it. And let me close all the other euro to US dollar charts with the Hurst cycles indicator on them, because they will all, of course, step up to the plate and they will deliver the analysis information if you require it. So let me show you what happens if you don't have any of those charts available. Now we have only one chart for the euro to US dollar with the Hurst cycles analysis indicator on it, and it also has the VTL and the FLD. But the order of those indicators is wrong. In other words, the analysis indicator is being loaded after the VTL and the FLD. Now have a look at what happens when I change my time frame, and after a slight delay, the VTL and FLD information is presented. It's a small thing. It's a really subtle thing. You're probably thinking, why did I bother explaining this? But it can affect you when you are trading and you're very quickly flipping between time frames, because you flip to a different time frame and the analysis is loaded and you want to see those FLDs, but they're not there yet, and there they are. You see, they take just a little bit of extra time to be displayed on that chart. And the reason for that is because the analysis indicator is being loaded after the FLD and the VTL. It's a very simple situation to fix. So you will right click and go to Indicators List, and you will simply delete the VTL and the FLD indicators so that Hurst cycles goes up to the top of the list. And then, of course, so that we can see the VTL and the FLD, we will apply those indicators again. There's my FLD. I'm using the default settings, and I will apply the VTL as well. And there's the VTL. And now when I switch time frames, we will find that the FLD and VTL information will be displayed immediately because the analysis information is available to it. There we go. On the 15-minute time frame, as soon as the chart is displayed, we have all the information available to us. At this point, I would recommend that you right-click and save this as a template. So you go to Template, Save Template, and you give this template a name. I'm going to call it Correct Hurst Order, and you save the template. And then whenever you create a new chart, you can simply pull up that template and you know that the indicators are in the correct order. One other suggestion that I would like to make is that you save a profile, and you can do that. Let me just drag this window down a little bit. You can go over here and click on Save Profile As. Give this profile a name such as Basic. And then as you work through your trading day, you will of course keep adding more and more charts, and you'll be applying your templates to those charts. And when you identify a potential trading opportunity, you're probably going to create many charts of different time frames for each of your instruments, and you're going to be watching all of those time frames simultaneously. By the end of your trading day, you've probably built up a big collection of charts. My recommendation is that when you finish your trading day, you actually then go through your charts and you reduce them down to a point where you have only one chart in each of the instruments that you regularly trade. I would furthermore suggest that that chart should be a 5-minute or a 15-minute chart. The reason for this is that if you start up MetaTrader 4 and you've got the maximum number of 99 charts on your platform left over from the previous day's trading, or perhaps your previous week's trading, if you only restart MetaTrader 4 once a week, then MetaTrader 4 is going to take a really long time to start up loading all of those charts and loading your Hurst cycles indicator onto all of the charts and so forth. And it's going to be a fairly tedious process watching your trading platform start up. So that's why I think it's useful when you're about to start a trading session, whether it's a trading day or a trading week, you have your charts pared down to only one chart with your Hurst cycles indicators on that chart for each instrument that you regularly trade. And furthermore, I would recommend that that chart is a 15-minute chart or a 5-minute chart. And the reason for that is that when the Hurst cycles indicator, the analysis indicator, is sitting on a 15-minute chart, then it very easily accomplishes a full analysis update, all the way up to the monthly data if necessary, and all the way down to the 1-minute data. When MT4 starts up and loads all of its data, if your chart is a 1-hour chart, you might find that there's a bit of a delay before the indicator has access to that 1-minute data. So to ensure the smoothest possible startup, I would recommend only one chart for each instrument that you are trading, and that chart should be a 15-minute or a 5-minute chart. I hope you find these tips useful, and I wish you profitable trading with Hurst cycles.